Hey all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. So first of all, let me just say, hopefully you all had a great Thanksgiving holiday weekend. I had a pretty good one. But as always, we've got a lot to cover today, including new Transformers Ultimates from Super 7, the latest on the Haslab Rancor campaign and the newest addition to that, as well as finally the GIJoe classified Alley Viper and Bat figures going up for pre-order, new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse listings, and a whole lot more. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so let's start off with some GIJoe classified news. And as I mentioned, the classified Alley Viper and Bat figures have finally gone up for pre-order at places like our sponsors Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. Entertainment Earth was the first place to list them late last night. Big Bad Toy Store put them up today. Now, Entertainment Earth is currently listing these figures with a July 2022 release. Big Bad Toy Store is showing June. I don't know if these places will start to get at least some of these figures in stock sooner than that. I think it's highly possible. From what I understand, the mix cases, retailers have the option where they can order mix cases or solid cases for these figures. And of course, being army builders, a lot of places are opting for the solid cases. Unfortunately, again, as I understand it, it's the mixed cases that have started to, at least to some degree, show up here in the US. So you might see it at your local comic book store. They might pop up there. I've seen a few reports of that. You might start seeing them show up at places like Target and Walmart within the next month. Again, probably in limited numbers. Target has actually listed both the regular Alley Viper and Cobra Bat on their website. They are just placeholder pages at the moment, but it looks like they are going to start, selling those two figures in the very near future. Walmart, of course, had gotten some figures in early last month. They had listings on their website, which are still there. They still use the code names, but people were able to grab a few of those figures. Those are some of the people that you see have them in hand. They were lucky. They kind of rolled the dice and gambled that they were going to get something good, even though they didn't know exactly what they were pre-ordering. But in fact, it did turn out that Walmart shipped out a few of the Bats and Alley Vipers early last month. And as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see those figures show up sporadically. But I really wouldn't expect them to show up in full force until next year. I don't know if it'll really take as long as next summer, but definitely I think it'll probably be next year before we really see these in any large number. So I wouldn't panic. Eventually, again, you can pre-order them now from places like our sponsors Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. You can order as many as you want. They will eventually ship out to you. Next year, again, I think these will be very easy to get, and mainly my point here is you don't need to resort to paying high secondary market prices. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, even buying them from overseas retailers, and these figures have been released overseas. That's probably, again, when you see people posting pictures of these figures in hand on social media, a lot of those people ended up buying them from overseas. That's not too bad. Usually most of the overseas retailers don't charge too much. Where you end up paying more generally is with shipping, or you end up waiting a really long time for them to ship. But don't get frustrated if you see people have them in hand. Eventually, again, they will be readily available, and all you'll need to do is just pay regular retail price on them. No need to pay eBay prices on these. Oh, and that Gung-Ho figure, which is the same figure we got before with slight paint modifications, that one is available for pre-order at Entertainment Earth. However, if you want to get that one right now, you have to buy all three figures. They are not selling Gung-Ho individually, probably because they did not order any solid cases for that one, only, the mixed case with Gung-Ho. I don't, that one's probably not going to be hard to find once it's actually released. Big Bad Toy Store, I think, only ordered the solid cases, so that's why they don't have Gung-Ho listed. I don't know if they will at any point. you know, technically, if you want that one, if you still need Gung-Ho and you just like that little bit darker color, which seems to be the primary difference from the previous one, you can get that one from Entertainment Earth. On the McFarlane toy front, so first of all, I just wanted to quickly share some official images for the next wave of the 6-inch 66 Batman figures. We've seen these before. This is the Batman with swim trunks, as well as Joker with swim trunks. Unfortunately, neither figure come with a surfboard. You know, in the episode, they were actually surfing. Mattel, when they did these figures, actually gave us surfboards. But with McFarlane, you do not get that. You just get the figures with the swim trunks. The third figure, which is probably the best figure in this wave, is the Riddler figure. These are Target exclusives. Target has not yet listed these on their website, but probably will soon. So keep an eye out. And again, these figures have been out overseas for at least a month, if not longer. So I imagine it won't be too much longer before we start to see them here in the US. Now, while we're on the subject of McFarlane Toys, I've got a number of rumored listings for you on the DC Multiverse front. These listings come from various overseas e-tailers, so they're not officially confirmed by McFarlane Toys. But as we often see with these overseas listings, they do turn out to be true. So I'm going to go on and share that information with you. But again, we will treat this as rumor until McFarlane Toys officially confirms it. So the first listings are for Black Adam movie figures. So it's pretty much a no-brainer that they're going to do movie figures for the upcoming film, which stars The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, as Black Adam. So with this wave, it looks like we're going to get a regular version of Black Adam and then what is being dubbed as the hero version. I don't know exactly what will be the difference between those two. We are also going to be getting Hawkman, Dr. Fate. There will be a variant of Dr. Fate without his helmet, which probably will end up being a gold label figure, but I don't know that 100%. The listing just says variant. We are getting the character Cyclone and also the Atom Smasher, which, you know, is a character that grows in size. So we're getting a regular release, a regular size version of Atom Smasher. And then there will be a mega figure of Atom Smasher, a larger version. And then the other mega figure that has been listed is the character Sabik, which I believe is the villain for the movie. So two mega figures in this assortment, which is kind of common. We saw that with both the Justice League and I guess we only saw one mega figure with the Suicide Squad movie, but we often do see them do two mega figures with these assortments. So no idea exactly when this wave is going to be released. The movie is set to be released at the end of July of next summer. So if that date holds, I would expect we'll probably see the figures release in May or June of next year. You know, usually we see the figures for a movie come out about a month before the movie's actually released. Then for you comic book fans, we've got some listings from another overseas retailer for figures based on the storyline called Endless Winter. So the listings that have shown up for this wave include figures. These are comic book based figures of Batman, Black Adam, John Stewart Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman. And then while this is listed as a build-a-wave, it doesn't tell us exactly what the figure is, but likely, most logical assumption here is it will be the main bad guy for this story, which is known as the Frost King. So again, these will be based on that storyline, Endless Winter, and I don't know exactly when these figures will be released, but probably, I'm going to guess, I would say early 2022. Oh, while we're on the subject of McFarlane and DC Multiverse, those Gotham Knight figures have also gone up for pre-order. They went up for pre-order last night, so you can get them at either places like Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store. And the 4 figures in that wave include Batman, or not Batman, sorry, but Robin, Red Hood, Batgirl, and Nightwing. And we've seen the images for those. I've talked about those already. And again, all 4 figures are available. This is based on the upcoming Gotham Knights video game, and they are available for pre-order now. And then finally, more listings that have shown up on overseas retailer sites include, this is going to be a long list, so I'm just going to go down it. So the Anti-Crisis Wonder Woman, which I think is probably that all gold version of Wonder Woman that appeared in the storyline. These images are for reference purposes only. I've only seen these listings, so I am speculating somewhat on the actual figures we're getting. But, best guess is it's going to be some type of gold Wonder Woman. We are supposed to be getting a 7-inch Hush figure, so a Jim Lee style character. And then Hush will get a single release, and then will also be released in a 2-pack with a Batman figure. So it looks like we might be getting our first Jim Lee art-inspired Batman figure from McFarlane Toys, which should be interesting to see. No indications of a single release Hush version of Batman, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's coming as well. We are getting the Joker Dragon from the Dark Knight's Metal storyline. This is listed as an actual vehicle. Now, in the story, the Joker Dragon has this kind of grotesque Joker face, a dragon with a worm-like dragon creature with a grotesque Joker face that you see characters riding around on. So I don't know how big the actual toy is going to be. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. It's kind of interesting. They list it as a vehicle, not as like a deluxe or mega figure or something like that. So again, that one I definitely am just curious to see how that turns out. We're getting another CW TV series figure with the Flash from season 7. We are also getting a Wally West Flash comic book version, which is listed as red suit. So I don't know if this will be the Rebirth version or what. We are getting the Batman Who Laughs as Batman. We are getting the character Grifter from Wildcats, another Jim Lee inspired character, which has been crossing over with DC characters. So we're getting Grifter. I don't know if we'll see any other Wildcats figures in the DC Multiverse line. Would definitely be interesting if we do. We're getting Duke Thomas from the Dark Knight's Metal storyline. We are getting Jonathan Kent Superman from the Future State storyline. We are getting a Martian Manhunter gold label variant. Now, previously, we had seen listings for a Rebirth Martian Manhunter, so I'm going to assume that's what this is a variant of, maybe with a different head sculpt and being a gold label figure. Most likely, that means it will be released here in the US as a Walmart exclusive. And then finally, a Red Robin figure. I'm hoping it's based on more of his classic outfit. We saw Mattel do a Red Robin figure where he was essentially just wearing the Robin costume with the double R in his chest. So I could see McFarlane doing that as well, but we'll just have to see. The 92nd wave of WWE Elite Collection figures from Mattel have gone up for pre-order. So this wave is going to include the wrestlers Scarlett, Charlotte, Adam Cole, Ric Flair, Rey Mysterio, and The Fiend. And these figures are all available for pre-order at places like both our sponsors Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. For you Masters of the Universe fans, I just wanted to share these new official images for the regular release of the Masters of the Universe Origins Sunman figure. So Mattel previously offered Sunman as a Mattel Creations deluxe type figure with fancy packaging. The big differences between this regular release version, which will come on regular Origins packaging, is the paint deco is not as metallic. You also don't get the extra head sculpt or the fire effect piece that came with the deluxe version. So a few less accessories, a little bit different paint deco, and not as elaborate packaging. But if you missed out on the Mattel Creation one that went up for pre-order during PowerCon, which Mattel has yet to ship out, at least I don't think they've shipped them out to anybody. I know I haven't gotten mine. I was able to pre-order one, but I haven't gotten it yet. But if you missed out on getting that one, the figure will see a regular release. And again, there will be some minor differences between the two. Now, we're on the subject of Masters of the Universe. I just wanted to quickly share my own thoughts on part 2 of the Revelation series, which I thought was really good. I didn't hate part 1. I'm not one of those people that was hating on part 1. And I know there was a number of people who were. But I thought part 2 was much better. I think it was probably a mistake on the part of Netflix for not releasing all this together, all 10 episodes together. I think breaking it up into 2 parts was definitely a mistake. And as Kevin Smith has said, that was all Netflix is doing. He wanted to release it together, but Netflix insisted on breaking it up on both parts. So, don't listen to me, but also don't listen to those haters out there who are going to throw out words like wokeness because, God forbid, female characters are portrayed with a little bit more responsibility and roles in the show than they did back in the 80s. Just go check it out yourself. There's a lot of action in part 2. He-Man definitely plays a sizable role. So does Tila. A story that was established back in the original Filmation series with Tila comes to a conclusion basically. Those were seeds that they planted back during the film, even with the Filmation days. They did leave it open for a possible third season of Revelation, which I hope does come. I don't know if it will, but again, my main thing is just go check it out yourself. Don't listen to anybody else. Make up your own mind. If you don't like it, that's fine. I can respect people who just didn't like the story or what have you. I don't really respect people who just throw out words like wokeness and say, well, don't watch it because it's wokeness. To me, that's pretty lame. But again, I do recommend you check it out, even if you were kind of lukewarm on part 1, which again, I didn't dislike, but I definitely felt like part 2 was better. On the NECA front, Robocop is returning to the NECA toy line with 2 new Ultimate figures. So they're doing just a regular version of Robocop, which is going to come with a number of accessories, including interchangeable data spike fist, his Auto 9 pistol that fits into a hidden spring-loaded leg holster, the Cobra Assault Cannon, attachable muzzle blast effects for that, and it's going to have multiple heads as well. And then they're doing a battle damage version, which the big difference there, beyond just the battle damage, is that one does not have the spring-loaded holster. And also it's going to come with his chair that, his, I don't know what you want to call it, his recovery chair or whatever, but basically the place that he goes to get repairs and get checkups and everything. So that's an extra cool accessory that has not been released before. NECA has done Robocop figures before, but both of these have some new accessories that have never been done. And, especially if you missed out on those, these are ones you're probably going to want to check out. Both of these figures are available for pre-order, again, at places like our sponsors, Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. For you Transformer fans out there, just today, Super 7 revealed their third wave of Ultimate Transformer figures. So, of course, these don't actually transform. They're just in their robot modes, but they are nicely detailed and come with a lot of accessories. So this is Wave 3, which is going up for pre-order today. As I'm filming this, Super 7 currently has them listed on their website. And then probably by the time you're watching this video, it will be also available at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. Now, in this wave, we are getting a G2 version of Megatron, which I've always liked. I have the original G2 Megatron tank, even with the neon green. I've always liked that toy, so that one's pretty cool. We are also getting Wreck-Gar in this wave from the Transformer movie, obviously the animated movie. We are getting an Alligator-Con, essentially, he's an alligator. And the fourth figure in this wave is one I'm actually not familiar with at all and goes by the name Tarn. So as I said, available for pre-order definitely at Super 7, and then probably by the time you're watching it, it'll be available pretty much anywhere that carries Super 7 product. For you Star Wars fans, so going up for pre-order today is a new Gaming's Great Black Series figure from The Force Unleashed with the Senate Guard. So an Emperor Royal Guard with the blue armor. This one doesn't have the soft goods cape or anything, which they didn't in the video game. You get the lightsaber and everything like we've seen before. So again, this figure just went up for pre-order today on the GameStop website, and they are currently listing the figure with an August 1st of next summer release. And then for the Haslab Rancor creature, it continues to struggle quite a bit since I talked to you guys last week. The project continued to lose backers. At one point, it was down under 4,700 backers. Then just yesterday, with about a week to go in the campaign, Hasbro made a surprise announcement stating that they are now going to include a Black Series Rancor Keeper figure. It is not a new tier. It is actually going to be included if the project reaches its minimum goal of 9,000 backers. So as I'm filming this, the project has started to climb in the upward direction finally since about a week ago when they announced all the initial stretch goals for this project, which I have already talked about. So as I'm filming this, the project is currently at 4,969. So it hasn't actually even gotten back to where it was before they revealed all the stretch goals. It was somewhere in the neighborhood of over 5,100 at that point, and right now it's still under 5,000. It's been about almost 24 hours since they announced the Rancor Keeper. So again, some people, a lot of people obviously were not terribly enthused about the stretch goals and changed their mind and started canceling their purchases or backing this goal. And so some of those people, at least for now, have returned. The campaign currently is just over 5 days until it ends. Again, the minimum goal on this one is 9,000 backers, so it will be interesting to see if the Rancor Keeper figure will be enough to not only get them back to where they were, over a week ago, but then actually make that stretch goal of 9,000. I think it's possible, but by no means do I think it's a given. This is not really something we've ever seen with one of these campaigns. I've never seen one of these campaigns lose backers like this one has. There's a variety of reasons that we could talk about for why that is, cost, having so many Haslab projects all in 1 year. But at the end of the day, it seems like the biggest reason was just people were not happy with what they were getting for their money. The cost of this one is $350. Now, one thing else I want to point out here is, Hasbro has now set this precedent by throwing in this completely new, never before done figure. That is almost definitely going to raise the cost of this project. I'm going to assume that they are still going to, even with the addition of the Rancor Keeper, they are still going to be able to make a profit from this campaign. I doubt they would throw in a figure if it was going to throw them over the red line where they essentially would lose money on it, even if it reaches its backer goal. So, but that begs the question of how much wiggle room are they giving themselves with these campaign projects? A lot of people claim that these things are overpriced, and I've been one to say, well, I'm sure they're priced so that they do make a reasonable profit, but I don't think they're actually price gouging. But that the fact that they're able to throw in a whole new figure at the last moment and it not even make it an additional stretch goal, so it's not like they're increasing the backers to try and offset the cost of the figure. They're just throwing it in there. Now, you might be asking why they're doing that. Well, the fact is regardless of what Hasbro tells you, the fact that, they will tell you, well, if we don't meet the backer goal, this isn't going to get made, and we're just going to throw all these prototypes and everything into mothballs and never look at them again. I'm sure there is some point where, if the project does so badly, that they just couldn't move forward with it because it would cost them too much money. I'm sure there is some point to that. But at the same time, I think they have reasonable expectation when they start these projects that they will at least meet the minimum goals. And, when they make these prototypes, that costs money, time, they've got to engineer it, they've got to develop it. So all of that takes time and money to do. Obviously, it's not as much money as if they had the figure fully made and everything and then it didn't sell, but there's still a loss that would be taken if they abandon these campaigns. So I think we're seeing here that, this was, they didn't want to have to eat that loss. So they're trying to, sweeten the pot a bit here. But again, that lends the question of how much, wiggle room are they really giving these things? And now that fans, Hasbro set this precedent that says, we're going to do as much as we can to make it so these campaigns don't fail, including throwing in brand new figures. What's going to keep fans from demanding more and seeing how much they can get from Hasbro in the next Haslab campaign? You may recall with the Galactus, that one ended up being successful, but for a while there, it was looking kind of doubtful, and many people were like, I want these heralds, I want a Fire Lord, I want a Terrax. And, we ended up getting a repaint of Dr. Doom head sculpt as the fourth unlockable stretch goal, which, honestly was kind of lame. We did get some cool stretch goals with like the Morgue figure. That was a really cool figure. Even like I thought the Nova figure was cool. Even the Silver Surfer, even though that was essentially a reissue, which I'm sure kept costs down. Some people didn't have the Silver Surfer, so that one wasn't too bad either. But, the Doom head was definitely kind of just like a toss it in type thing to me. I'm sure most of us would have much rather seen, again, one of the other heralds included in the set. So, the question is, had fans done something similar as we've been seeing with the Rancor and said, look, I'm not going to back this unless you give us something more, would Hasbro in fact have, at the last moment thrown in an extra Herald figure? I can't say that they would. I can't say if the margins on the Galactus were the same as the Rancor, and had they left, did they leave themselves as much of a cushion on that? I don't know. We don't have those figures, so we can only speculate. But it does bring up an interesting question. Had people not been willing to show Hasbro that they were going to back the Galactus, and it was looking like it was going to fail, would Hasbro have come back and thrown in another figure that people really wanted? And with future, obviously with Galactus, there's no way to answer that, and it's done. So what's done is done. But I'm sure there's going to be another Marvel Legend campaign probably next year. Other campaigns. So will fans basically point to this Rancor and say, hey, you gave us another figure when you didn't think that one was going to be back, so we're not going to back this one until we get more for our money. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play out, but it definitely will be interesting. And I feel like Hasbro has maybe dug themselves into a bit of a hole with this Rancor. And again, it's not even clear whether the Rancor Keeper itself is going to be enough to save it. I know a lot of people still also wanted an Ula figure, the slave girl, but again, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, how not only whether or not the Rancor itself will get funded or not in the next 5 days. And if not, will Hasbro extend the deadline? Same thing with the Sky Striker. I mean, the Sky Striker hasn't moved backwards at all. It's still been steadily, very slowly, steadily moving upward. But as I'm filming this, that one's only at 5,896 backers. It needs 10,000, and it just has over 6 days to go before it ends. So, and they've already shown all the stretch goals on that one. So, is it going to really be able to come in and break 10,000 before all is said and done? I don't know. These campaigns do often get large, bumps towards the end. But, it may just be that Hasbro has put too much stuff up at once. 3 Haslab campaigns all went up at the same time. The Sky Striker, the Rancor, and the Ghostbuster Proton Pack. The Proton Pack, which is a role-play item, not an action figure, that one has been funded and been doing fairly strongly. But, again, with the Sky Striker and the Rancor, it is definitely looking iffy. We've already had the Galactus and the Transformer one this year. So that's, a total of 5 Haslab campaigns that they've done in 2021. And it may just simply be that they've asked too much from collectors to spend that much money all in 1 year. But we'll see. I'm definitely not going to sit here and say these won't get backed or they won't be funded. But I definitely feel like with the Rancor, just offering the Rancor Keeper is going to set a precedent that might come back to bite them in the butt. Even if it gets the Rancor over the finish line, they might find that it makes future Haslab campaigns more difficult to get funded. And then we'll see if these two, the Sky Striker and the Rancor, actually make it over the finish line or not in the next few days. Also, for you Ghostbuster fans, last week Hasbro gave us a surprise reveal with a new 2-pack for their 6-inch Plasma Series line. This is based on the Afterlife movie, and it does contain a pretty major spoiler. So if you haven't seen the movie, and I haven't seen it yet either, but I've already been spoiled, so too late for me. But if you haven't seen it, you might want to fast forward a couple minutes past this part. But the 2-pack is listed as the family that busts together, and it features the new character Phoebe Spangler, which is the granddaughter, I believe, of Egon Spangler, the original Ghostbuster, and then a ghost version of Egon. So in the movie, Egon has passed away. In real life, the actor Harold Ramis also has passed away, but I'm assuming that they've used special effects and stuff to bring back a ghost version. Being one of the big things about this movie was reuniting the original Ghostbusters as Ghostbusters. It's not terribly surprising that they did this. But again, I think at the end we see a ghost version of Egon on screen, and this figure, which is made with translucent plastic, is representing that. Now, this 2-pack is a Target store exclusive. It is available now. It started to see release early last week, but the shelf date on it was, I think, November 28th. So it should be readily available. It was actually available online yesterday on the Target website. It is currently sold out online, though it's still listed there, and you can use the website to see if it's at your local store. And my guess is at some point they will make more of these available online as well. And then finally, real quick on the Marvel Legend front, I really don't have a whole lot for you. Last month, November, was a pretty slow month for Marvel Legends, which is, actually a little bit nice since we've had so much Marvel Legends stuff coming at us so fast. But no major reveals last month for Marvel Legends. The Captain Carter stealth figure from the What If animated series, which is also a Target exclusive, that also, like the Ghostbusters set, went up on Target's website. Last time I checked, it was still available. And it's been hitting physical stores for over a week as well. So if you want that one, I don't think it'll be too difficult to get your hands on. But again, it is listed on the Target website. That's really it for Marvel Legends. I will tell you that this month in December, we will be getting some new Marvel Legend reveals. Probably we will get another live stream around the middle of the month, I'm thinking. One of the things that we should get the official reveal on is that Doctor Strange wave, which, as I've previously told you guys, will have comic book versions of the Despair figure that they teased previously, as well as a Sleepwalker figure should be one of the other comic book figures. I don't know all the figures in that wave, but I'm guessing it's not going to be super spoilerish if we're going to get the full reveal this month. But I don't know exactly all the figures in the wave, but probably most of the others are going to be movie based, and then there's going to be the Build-A-Figure. So I think there might be a few other reveals coming this month, but off the top of my head, I don't remember. But I'm sure we'll be talking more about that stuff in the coming days. Okay, so that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about down in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. Hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. As always, guys, stay safe out there, and until next time, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.